Hey guys, welcome back to another weekend live stream. Uh, I am your host, as always, Dylan Israel. Um, for those of you who are new to the channel, let me go ahead and close this. It's a little bright in here, isn't it? Um, First off, I apologize for how dirty my office is right now. It doesn't look that bad actually. Um, Second off, welcome. Every week we try to do a 1 hour mentoring sort of session to help provide some direction because that's something I always wanted when I was learning software engineering. That light's actually too much, isn't it? And that's what I'm trying to do. And I like to start off with the topic as people sort of funnel in here. And the topic is this: where have all the senior devs gone? Is this something a lot of people are looking for? A lot of people are very concerned about how can we get the senior devs? Where are they at? And normally I pose questions that I have answers to. But I do not have an answer to this. This is a genuine question. Um, and what I think is that companies are more and more paying better and having better benefits, making less senior devs available on the market. I think companies more and more are, um, you know, promoting and keep valuing their developers. Because I live in the Tampa area and there's not a ton of developers, but there's not a small amount of developers. There's probably around, I think there's around 300,000 people in Tampa, something like that. Um, but it is one of those things where, so I'll give you a perfect example. We are hiring at my work. So I message HR and I say, hey, do you have any issue with me posting to my my page that we're hiring on my LinkedIn? They say, no, go for it. Cause I have something like how many, and by the way, I don't connect to anybody. These are like students that connect to me, recruiters. I only connect to the people I've worked with, but I think I have, how do you see your network? So I have a network of about 2,000 people. And I said, hey, we're hiring at my company. To put it in reference, my company is one of the largest firms in the world. It's a good opportunity. They pay well. They There's a lot of room for advancement. My post has gotten, in about 2 days, my post has gotten, let's see here. Trying to bring it up right now. Where's my post? 2,169 views in the feed. Basically saying, hey, let me give you a short technical interview, we get you a job. And I have gotten a single response. And the reason for that is, one, they're either not local or not willing to relocate, or two, and the one that came my way didn't even meet the requirements, and two, everyone's hired. It's so hard to find quality individuals. And so what you're going to see, and I bring this up not to complain that we can't find quality developers, because I understand, but to explain to you that if you are a quality junior dev out there, what defines a quality junior dev? You actually understand your programming language of choice. You understand how to write clean code. You understand what it means to write tests. That's about it. That defines you as a quality dev in my eyes, based off of people I've interviewed with, or people I have interviewed for roles. So, you know, it is it is so hard to find quality devs that the ones that are quality can easily go and get another job. So like people give me a lot of shit. They're like, Dylan, you moved across country, you moved to Idaho, it cost you $7,000 to go round trip. You quit that job after 3 days, and you came back to Tampa with no job, eliminated half of your bankroll. Weren't you scared? No. Uh, Absolutely not. It took me 2 weeks to have a contract in my hand and sign it. Why is that? Well, it's because I worked hard. It's because I am a quality developer. It is because I understand JavaScript. It's because I understand object-oriented programming, coding, what it means to build a progressive web app. I understand CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and frameworks. I understand static typing. These are things I understand. And I also understand as someone who has interviewed 100 candidates that 99 out of 100 can't reverse a string. I've reversed a string. I'll even print a string out. You tell me what you want that string to do. I will make that string do it for you. Okay. Um, so, um, but you're a god now. Okay, that's what someone said in the chat. What I'm trying to say is, in September I'll have 3 years resume experience, a full-time dev. I've put in time. I'm continuing to put in time. I'm working on a podcast, which, by the way, is coming along great. Eric and I are killing it. In probably about 2 months, we'll release it. The Self-Taught or Not podcast. Very excited. I was excited to release it when the time comes. But I think we're about 8 episodes into a 24 season podcast. What I mean by that is when we drop it, it's all dropping. You can Netflix that, Netflix binge style. You can watch it in your car, or listen rather. I'm building an Angular course. 24 episodes, not 24 seasons. A single season of 24 episodes that are launching at one time. Probably about 2 months away. We've been filming or recording, but it'll be fun times to release that. Got a couple SkillShare courses coming out for you. I got a great Udemy course that I'm building. I'm meeting with my buddy tonight to talk about just helping me with the syllabus. He's going to be my co-author to a degree. It's going to be fun stuff, and I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm enjoying it. So I hope you're doing it as well. Hey, Tito. Oh, come here, buddy. But where have all the senior devs gone? Nowhere. They're staying where they're at. They're happy. They're getting promoted. They're making more money. They're good to go. And that's the thing I try to tell you guys is finding a quality developer is a very hard thing. Finding a quality junior developer is a hard thing because, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, put me in, and I'll train. If my work came to me Monday and said, Dylan, we can't find any senior devs, I say, I know. I know. And then I say, okay. And then they say, we want you to get 20 junior devs and get them to your level or near it. All right. I need 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the caliber of the individual. And I would tell you that, this is how I would do it. Give me the power, respect my authority, and this is what I would do to get people up to the level they need to be. First off, we hire 30 people. 30 people. You interview, I like you, you're in. Come back in 2 weeks. We interview 30 junior devs because we can get junior devs without a doubt. A junior dev is just a developer with a dream, like no work experience. We get junior devs. So this is what I think companies should do, but they're so hesitant to do it. And it's not necessarily my company. I'm just talking generally. But if someone came to me, a company first said, this is what we want you to do. We want you to take these junior devs and we want to make them something good. Take the clay, make a sculpture. I would say dream come true, put me in, coach, but this is my contingency. This is it. I want 25 to 30 junior developers. I need probably 1 to 2 more people to help me with that. From there, we let them know half of them get cut. Like we're setting a standard of we're expecting to only keep half of you. Now we may keep more, but we are planning on only keeping half of you because if we got 30 devs, 25 are killing it, bring 25 in. All right. But people need to understand that you have to be above a certain bar. From there, where do we start? Where do we start? Well, fundamentals. Fundamentals. All right. What are fundamentals? We start by then these are things that I'm telling you I interview people, they don't understand. We start with HTML and CSS. Spend 1 week on HTML and CSS. You're going to go understand the box model today. You're going to understand display and position tomorrow. You're going to understand semantic HTML. You're going to understand pseudo elements, pseudo selectors. You're going to understand what it means to create a style sheet. And you're going to understand how not to litter your code with classes and IDs when you don't need to, so you can have proper cascading CSS. This is where we start, because so many people can't do what I just said. Day like 3, you're going to understand what it means to do mobile first design. You're going to understand what responsive design period is, probably before that. We're then going to dive into CSS grid and Flexbox to make that easier for you. And how are you going to do it? Well, you're going to have a single project every day. Okay? And you can be late 2-3 times. And because I'm going to put in the work with you. Because I understand what it takes to succeed. Because they're not putting in 40-hour work weeks with me. Not if we're trying to take you from junior to a senior level in 6 to 12 weeks. No. We're doing 80-hour weeks here, people. All right? And I'll be there to study and keep you along. We're doing boot camp style. All right? So there, we're sleeping, we're eating, we're smelling together. All right? You're living and breathing it. All right? We're going to just all right, we take these 2 conference rooms, break that wall down real quick, throw some whiteboards up here, put a projector over here, get everyone in here 3 monitors, and this is what we're going to do. All right? Great. Fundamentals, HTML, CSS. You get homework every day, 1 project. You're building something every single day, all right? In the beginning, because then projects get more complex, things change, but you need to practice. All right? Week 2, JavaScript. And you say, Dylan, they already know JavaScript. They do not know Java. Gentlemen, ladies, the average developer does not understand JavaScript unless they're a JavaScript developer. And even then, sketchy. So we're gonna teach you about the funny things about JavaScript, because this is the stuff that confuses people, but it's very powerful oftentimes if understood. So we're gonna teach you things like pass by reference, pass by value. We're going to do things like teach you the difference between synchronous and asynchronous code. We're going to teach you how to write. We're going to teach you how to write code as if it's from 2015 and beyond, and not from like 2000. All right, we're going to teach you modern JavaScript. That's it. From there, we're going to teach you object-oriented programming, what the main concepts are. All right. After that, we're going to teach you TypeScript, how that works, because you're going to be working in TypeScript. You're going to have to understand static typing. You're going to be solving algorithms of these things, hundreds of algorithms, perhaps a 100 algorithm challenge. Links in the description below. All right. We are going to spend a single day on how to manipulate the DOM in Vanilla.js, just so that you know what it is and the core concepts. We're going to spend a good portion of time explaining to the bad tactics that people follow, such as globally defined variables. We're going to spend time teaching you solid principles. We're going to spend a day teaching you functional programming, because it's important to understand the difference between object-oriented and functional. Week 3. We're going to build something with a framework, and we're going to spend a week or 2 on the framework of choice at your workplace, because this is important. This is what you're going to be building. And more than that, I'm not going to teach you a framework. I will. But I'm going to teach you what frameworks do. The thing that people don't understand why they have trouble jumping between frameworks is they never take the time to understand principles and how they apply. How every single page application is absolutely the same with different syntax. And if you understand that, you understand that the thing you're looking for already exists and you just have to Google it. And that's what we're going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to Google and how to use a framework of choice. So, what's next? Well, next we have quiz time. You got to give a quiz halfway through some of your things. See where people are standing, seeing where, and by that, you're living and sleeping and breathing together, smelling together. And when I say smelling together, I'm assuming people are stressed and not sleeping well and doing very hard. And because we're grinding, right? If you're doing 80 hours a week, you're grinding. But at the end of that rainbow is a pot of gold. Pot of gold. All right. A lot of us would do some stuff to get a pot of gold 3 months down the road. Great. We review and review. Spend a whole week on reviewing until you're like, Dylan, stop asking us stupid questions. We already know the answer. Fantastic. That's exactly what I want to hear. All right. From there, we move on to more advanced topics and how to manipulate the state of an application, which is something people don't think about for whatever reason, because state management, we have library after library after library of state management. Great. We need to teach you state management. Yes. Oh, testing. Absolutely. We haven't got to the testing yet because real developers understand how to test their code. That's what we need to do. We need to test our code. So this would be, I teach junior developers just unit testing. We could go functional testing, but most of the time, quality assurance will handle that for you because functional testing, end-to-end testing, your UI changes so much. That shit's always breaking. So we're gonna, of course, talk about testing. Yeah. And also, Emmanuel Rose, love the content, keep it up. Thank you, man. Anyhow, guys, if it was up to me, I could do that about once a year, maybe twice a year, where I just sit down. We're gonna take these people, these junior devs, pay them $20 an hour. Don't give them shit. $20 an hour is enough to live off of, no matter what sort of state of your life you're in. If you're an aspiring developer, say $20 an hour, 3-month internship, and then you say, we're gonna cut you at 3 months, and we'll decide if we hire you. You want to take that chance? Are you gonna prove? Are you gonna prove that you can do it? Yeah. Some people ain't gonna make it. That's okay. Some people are gonna be like, yo, I'm not ready to dedicate my life for 3 months. I understand that. Some people will. And I promise you, oh my goodness, I promise you, you give me 80 hours a week for 3 months, we're going to have a senior developer in 3 months. Yep. So that's what I would do to solve the senior dev shortage. Put me in, coach. Put me in. But yeah, so it's hard finding senior devs. That's my real story, and it's going to be hard. Hiring qualified individuals is not only hard, but just finding individuals is hard. Got accepted in Flatiron School. Good luck, man. Put in the time. Put in the time. I interviewed. So anyhow, so a lot of you guys know I like to teach, and that's part of the YouTube channel, and like I enjoy all that sort of stuff. I interviewed at a coding boot camp, one that throws on. There's a certain couple coding boot camps that basically they ran through colleges, but they're ran through a third-party organization. And I interviewed with them, and I was stunned at how low they paid their teachers and their teacher assistants, to such a degree that, I would say that you're never going to get a quality developer if you're paying them half to a third of what they make in their regular role. which is crazy. Didn't I get my start in QA? No. I've always started as a dev. I would say I got my start as a technical. So I had a technology trainer, which was a cross between a business analyst and a technical writer. A CS degree ain't gonna make you a senior dev. A CS degree is simply going to. That's what a CS degree does. I'm gonna tell you right now. CS degree makes it easier for you to interview, and it also makes it easier for you to move up into management. That's what a CS degree does. What is PHP's future? I don't know, man. You know I'm not a fan of PHP. People give me so much crap for talking about PHP. Dylan, I just got through my first week at my first job. I don't know shit. Hey, hopefully you're gonna know something. I don't know the new camp boot camp. I just came in. Dylan starting his own boot camp. Nah, that's just a dream of mine. A dream of mine is like I go in one of these days. They come up and they say, Dylan, we can't find nobody of quality. We want them to be like you, Dylan. We want them to be like you. I was like, well, you can't get me, baby. You know, no, but what can we do to get? This is the deal. This is how we're doing it. All right. I have a business management degree, bachelor's. Can I move up into management without getting a CS degree? Yeah. All thanks to you. Followed your free CodeCamp video tutorials a year ago and was inspired. Took a year, but I got the job. Good job, man. Good job. King Fernell, being self-taught is hard, even getting a response back. So what I would tell you is that I'd have to see your resume and your LinkedIn, but you're probably not crossing off a few of the boxes. I would recommend that. There's quite a few things you can do to stand out that'll start getting those callbacks. So I offer one-on-one mentoring, and if you'd like to set it up, and granted it costs $150 an hour, so it's sometimes out of people's price range, but we could review these things and see what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, how we can solve this. Like, I'll give you an example. The other day, a gentleman I worked with, smart guy, one of the best people I've interviewed, or not interviewed, mentored, in terms of, like, he was totally ready to start applying for jobs, but his resume didn't have links. It had links, but no URLs to where his content could be found. And like where his LinkedIn is, GitHub. A lot of times, they'll just get printed out and handed away, so they're never going to check your shit out. So you gotta have the actual hard URL on there. How many hours does it take you to convert a PSD to HTML CSS website using Flexbox? Wondering what my goal time should be. It depends on the PDF. But a tech company at like Spotify, Google, Facebook, etc. Do CS majors shine there? A CS major is always going to help you. It's never going to hurt you. But you can get a job at Google, Facebook, or Spotify. How did I take being laid off? So financially, it was all right. I missed a paycheck, and then I in between jobs, and then I also there was an emotional toll. Even though I was fine, I wasn't worried about it. I had another job lined up. There was an emotional toll of I just took a job and they laid me off. I was sort of in a semi-depressed state for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. It was a unique thing. Sounds like it was the company. So the company decided they want to go in a different direction. And when you work at these smaller companies, this happens, man. That's the thing, is everyone's an at-will employee. They want to cut you, they can cut you. You want to leave, you can leave. So it goes both ways. You just have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. Do CS majors do better on data structures, algorithms, whiteboard than typical self-taught devs? It depends on what you study. There's plenty of people. Yeah, do they teach those things to CS majors? Yeah, but do they retain it? Most don't. And you can go and learn those things in a $10 Udemy course, and you just practice for a month or two. If you want to learn about traditional algorithms, you want to learn about breadth first search, binary search, go. You can get all that online. In your experience, when you interview, when I interview, here's the thing. This is something I didn't believe, but when I interview, you know who the best candidates are? The ones with the least amount of experience, the ones who are straight out of a boot camp, or the ones that are completely self-taught. Those are usually the best ones. What happens with a lot of CS degree majors, and this is generality. You want generalities? Here you go. What happens with a lot of CS majors is they've already invested 4 years, and they're like, I'm good, dude. I'm done studying. I don't even want to do this shit no more. And they, to them, they've already put their time in. But what they haven't realized is all they've done is learn some. They now have to go learn the job, which is a completely different thing. Yeah. I always feel like I have gaps in my knowledge since I don't have a CS degree, irrational or not. I feel that way at sometimes. So I think it's just part of the sort of, what's the word? What's that thing where you feel bad about yourself and you feel imposter syndrome? QA sometimes make as much as devs. No, they don't. Joe Blow. No, they don't. Can you make a decent living as a QA? Yeah, but your average QA person perhaps I'm mistaken, but I have never heard of a developer here makes 150, a QA makes 160. No, that's just, there's different tiers on the pay scale, and it doesn't work that way. But again, nothing wrong with QA. QA doesn't make as much money as dev. Just like dev doesn't make as much money as data scientists. I just told my company last one that I've been working at for 2 years, 4 days per week while studying that I'm not signing a contract for after I graduate. I'm hungry for growth and a new job. Maybe take that job and then you continue to apply so you have a paycheck. But you do you. How can you maintain being employable with big tech companies? I'm not sure what you mean by maintain. A QA at a reputable tech company can make more than a developer in other companies. No. What separates a junior from senior? Understanding, mastering of his craft, being able to understand principles, methodologies, those types of things. Being able to architect out projects, being able to design projects, knowing how to build something properly. What are some things you look for when you review a candidate's project? I typically don't review a candidate's project, but I look at technologies, and if I do, I look at how they write code. I actually look at the code. I'll click through it, see what's going on there. Always being employed, never being let go. If you think that you're going to work at a company and never be let go, then you are severely mistaken. What you have the wrong mindset, Tom. Tom, the right mindset is how quick can I leave to go get more money? All right. And you need to let them know that that's the type of person you are, so they keep your ass and pay you more money because you're so good that they know that if you leave, they're going to replace you with some guy who can't reverse a string. Would you think QA or dev is more stressful? Dev. But I will also say that your stress is highly up to you a lot of times. The logo in the background upside down, that's Lambda, functional programming. And then you got a programmer's life, eat, sleep, code, repeat. Then you got a bunch of technologies over here you can't really make out. Yep. Do you have to learn JavaScript in order to make web apps? No. Should you? probably. You can learn other things like PHP, Python. There's other things that you can learn, but a lot of it compiles down to JavaScript. A lot of it has less functionality than JavaScript. Did you ever doubt it you would make it? I mean, I can't say I didn't. I remember one time. You guys want to hear some real shit? I remember one time. So, for those who don't know my background, very quickly, I dropped out of school. I took a job, not a very well paid job, but most money I made at that time, struggling in Los Angeles, and I'm studying 4 hours a day on the weekdays and like 14 each weekend day, like just grinding. Delivered pizzas before that. Anyhow, April and I had broken up because I was kind of a douche, and I'm crying, I'm coding, I'm grinding, I'm going hungry. I can barely afford food. Mom's bringing me groceries. So I'm feeling pretty bad. I call April. By the way, we're broken up. She's still pretty pissed at me. And we have one of those moments that you always remember. One of those moments where you're always going to remember somebody's character. And so she's there. She's not very happy, right? Because she lost me, right? She may have left me, but she lost me. And that's no fun, right? And so that's no, anytime you break up and you leave somebody, you still lose somebody, right? Even if it's your choice. So she's not too happy. It's been about 6 months since I've seen her, around there. I'm barely holding it together. She's there. She's listening to me, and I'm just stressed. And she said, I don't remember what I said, but I remember what she said. She said, "Are you working hard?" I said, "Yeah." "You doing everything you know you need to do?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "You gonna make it then?" I said, "Yes, I am." That was the time, man. That was the moment where you have that you're in your own head a little bit too much. You're grinding. Yeah, it doesn't pay off until it does. All right, you spent at that point. You're like, I'm 800 hours in, dropped out of college. My mom's bringing me groceries. Hasn't paid off yet. Doesn't pay off until it does. But I was taking one step forward every day. Start doubting yourself every once in a while. She's always there for me, man. She's always there to tell me when to tell me that I was going to do it. That's all it takes, man. You got to put the work in. But sometimes you're at these crossroads in life, and this goes a lot of different ways. Where you're at these crossroads, and you're going through trial and tribulation. You're having rough time after rough time after rough time, but you're like, I'm going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you don't see it. And then one day you wonder you're never going to see it. And then you have that choice of, I'm going to go back or I'm going to keep going forward. And sometimes, just that little motivation, that little bit of, you believe in me, I'm not crazy, I can do this. That's all it takes. Here we are. How old I was at this time? About 27, 28, something like that. 27, I would say probably. 27, spent 6 years in college, no degree. Took a job, software company, not writing code. Feeling like a fucking loser. Broke, unhappy, miserable. Much happier than I was in college, but still unhappy. Grinding. Telling myself I was going to make it. And then you have that split, that one day where you just jack it all up. And that's why I tell you guys, every single day you got to keep moving forward. And I called her, and she came over, and she could have said, because she's angry at me. She could have said, "Nah, Dylan, you suck dick. You ain't gonna do nothing, Dylan. You ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna be, go back delivering pizzas, Dylan." She could have been that girl. That's all right. Like that might have motivated me too. I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna show this girl what's up right now. Uh, you know, yeah, man, she could have been salty. Anger's a motivator too. Don't be, you know, don't get it twisted. The right amount of anger can get you there very quickly. So, um, but no, man, she told me what I needed to hear in my moment of need, and 8 weeks later, I got my first dev job. Oh man, let's see what I missed. What grade did I get in Calc 2? Like a C? I was like a C and a B student in college. But what if you get paid like 80,000 a year? Isn't that good enough for a salary? It's all relative where you live, but it depends how much money you want and what you want to do with it. You can learn, Tom, can I be your mentor? Yeah. Costs $150 an hour, or these free 1 hour group sessions every week. Do I track my time with Toggle? No. Your girlfriend is very supportive? Absolutely, man. So, like, why do you guys think I can do a YouTube channel? Why do you think I can do a podcast? Why do you think I can build courses? It's because she's holding it down while I'm over here doing what I need to do to take care of our lives financially and to work on my career. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. Do you think programmers become antisocial because they're on a computer all the time, or the industry attracts those type of people? I think that's an overdeveloped stereotype. I'd say for the most part, nowadays people are more friendly. I'd say maybe back in the day a little bit more so, but I would say not so much anymore. What was it like when you were coding every day trying to get your first role? Was it fun? Was it stressful? A combination of both. It was an interesting period of time because I'm working a 40-hour work week. I'm hungry, right? I'm living in this crack shack, and I'm just grinding, man. That's the truth of the matter. And I'm tired. I was taking all these I was taking things like Focus Factor for brain health, Focus Plus to stay focused. I wouldn't recommend any of this shit, but this is what I was doing to be able to code for 4 hours after work and 14 hours on the weekend. I was just grinding. And was it stressful? Absolutely, man. I remember crying at my keyboard. God, maybe 10 times in that 9 months where I'm just like, because you do have those doubts, but it was more so like you're crying because you don't understand what you don't understand, man. Like, have you ever had to cry because you didn't understand what an API was and you just couldn't wrap your mind around the concept itself and you didn't know how to learn it? You didn't know how to Google it. You didn't know what to do with it. I mean, I don't know if these are familiar things to you, but they're familiar to me. I remember them. I remember trying to reverse that string. I was like, ABC needs to be CBA. How do I do that? I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to. And then, you work on it and you work on some other things, and slowly things start to click, and then you keep growing, and then you keep moving, and things are going good. Uh, but yeah, it was stressful. Absolutely. All right, Tom, I'll shoot you an email, man. There you go, Tom. What resource would you use to create a boot camp? Actually, I already have a course on Udemy that I'm building that has everything I want to teach, so I'd probably just actually do that. Do you ever go to web dev conferences? On occasion, I went to DevFest Florida maybe 4 or 5 weeks back. I met a couple of you guys, took some pictures, and I actually emailed them recently and said, "Hey, if you're looking for speakers, I'd love to talk." And they said they're still planning, but we'll get back to you. And on LinkedIn, I said I'm looking to speak at meetups or conferences if anyone's interested. So I'm trying to do it more and more. Can I do tutorials or something for free? I got a lot of tutorials for free. I also am doing a lot of premium courses on Skillshare. So if you have a course, if you have like a Skillshare course, you can go and get that for free. What do you think helped you get your first job from employer's perspective? Passion and having a project to choose it, which is my YouTube channel, and knowing the things that they were looking for. I'm sure there's some luck in there. It's always a little bit of luck. And by luck, I mean hard work. Because I filled out 500 apps a day, it felt like. It's probably closer to 50 or 100, but I'm filling it out, man. That's why like people tell me to do like 5 apps a day. I'm like, you're never going to get hired. How the righteous gains in the gym come in? Not very good at all. Hey, bro, a guy asked me to build a website for his business. It's small. Was wondering how much I could charge. Depends on what the functionality is. Why are you using Skillshare? Are you done with Udemy? No, I'm building courses on both, but sometimes I want to have, some courses are too small. Like you put giant courses on Udemy, you can put small little ones on Skillshare. What technologies do I use? So at my first job, I used AngularJS, Angular, HTML, CSS, and I want to say we just did basic CSS, Git, PHP, Cake PHP, MySQL. That was my first job. What will the Udemy course teach? So the one that I'm talking with my buddy today at 9, and he's helping me develop a syllabus, is we're going to actually do, it's called the 100 front-end technical screen challenge. And what it is 100 plus topics that you would actually get asked in an interview, like a phone screen or a one-on-one. Not necessarily like whiteboard problems. We already did that sort of one with the algorithm. These are things like if I say to you, what is the difference between const, let versus var, how you should answer it, and then give you an example explaining the concept. So this course itself will be a lot of audio explaining how you should answer these things, and they're all going to be relevant questions that you'll actually get asked in a front-end interview, and then of course explain the concept in depth as well. Do you need to know object-oriented programming in programming? It wouldn't hurt, but yes. Where did you and April go on your last vacation? When was it? If you count it as a vacation, last Thanksgiving, I flew us out for 10 days back home. Dylan, I'm going to be graduating soon. I want to be a front-end dev working with JavaScript. Should I accept any company that hire me, even though I don't want it? It depends on how motivated you are, but yeah, usually, if you go and get that PHP job, and you keep studying to go get a JavaScript job, great. But yeah, you could say no. It depends on how quick you want to get out. A lot of people see the problem. So CodeFinks, the issue I have with people taking jobs that they don't want in their first job is because if you're unmotivated, which at that point you're probably it's not gonna work out anyhow. But if you're unmotivated, you don't have the energy to study, to go and learn the thing you want to learn, to go get. And what ends up happening is it's easier to continue down the path. Like, do you know how many PHP jobs I got offered after my first job working in PHP? Every single job I got a callback for was for PHP, and so I had to just say no, I'm good, and like I stopped interviewing for those things, and like I stopped / didn't, I should say. So you have to understand. They end up staying too long, and they end up just continuing to learn that skill set. And what happens is it's easier then. It's easier and you get slightly more money or about the same at the time, even though long term you're gonna make less. So. He wants a page. So Matthew, when it comes to your services, a couple things. One, do you just want to build something? If you just need something to build and you can get paid for it, absolutely. Two, if that's not the case, then you should make enough money that you actually do it. What I tell people is charge whatever makes it worth it for you. Do I hate PHP because all the damn dollar signs? Yeah, it reminds me too much of jQuery. But no, I mean, I just never enjoyed the language. That's the truth of the matter. But to be fair, I was working in PHP 5, which apparently PHP 7 is a lot better. How hard, in your opinion, would it be a senior dev on a Google AI team? I have no idea, but it's hard to get a job at Google. It's not impossible. But I imagine because there's less competition in artificial intelligence because the demand's so high, you could probably get a great job anywhere, even if it's Google or not. How fast can I learn Angular for a job if I'm good at React? It depends how good of a developer you are. Did you just memorize React, or did you understand that there's routing, lifecycle hooks, what it means to have component-based architecture, how to use services? Did you understand that types? Did you do it in TypeScript, static typing? Did you build models properly? These are things that if you picked up like what's core about spas, then it might be a little bit easier transition. Did having projects on GitHub help you getting in jobs to show what sort of scale? Yeah, man, it showed people that I actually code. You'd be surprised how many people say they code and don't have anything on their GitHub. Do you ever read every word of a technology's documentation or just jump into certain topics depending on what you're working on? Probably the latter. If I really want to know something, I'll do a course or watch a video on it. What's your favorite language to work with? JavaScript. When he asks, again, Matthew, whatever is your value, whatever makes it worth for you. I would rather have you spend your time working on something and learning than taking a contract below what you want for something that's not going to help you grow. There's a huge demand for data science and a little supply. Go look up what the top 20 jobs are. They're all machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science. They're just different aspects of data science. My intern friend says they teach you on the job. No. So every organization is different, but most of the time, if they're actually hiring junior developers, they expect you to have some fundamental basis. Like, what site do I use for salaries, demand for skills, etc.? You can use sites like LinkedIn, Glassdoor, PayScale for salaries. I don't know if LinkedIn does salaries. Yeah, they do. You can use sites like that, and then you can use the Bureau Labor of Statistics for find out like job growth and things like that. Dropped out of college, but other than that, you're completely self-taught. Yeah. I didn't go to a boot camp or anything. Matter of fact, after I dropped out of college, I never spent a single dollar on education materials. I did it all through Codecademy, Free Code Camp, and YouTube. I'm not saying that was a great idea, but that's what I did. I probably should have bought some Udemy courses. But like, when you're hungry, you need your $10. Like, I think I was 27, 28. Yeah, 28. So 31. Yeah, that's 28. I think it was a month before I turned 28. I don't know. I gotta go. So we gotta call stats. Is programming a safe job? I would say yes. I would say any job in tech and software is probably one of the safer routes. $28 now, 31, make 100K a year. It's probably going to be closer to 130. But if you add YouTube, probably close to 150. And yes, I own my own house. I don't own it outright. I'm paying for it, but yeah. Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on, Bitcode? Doing that personal branding, change your name. Do you have a degree? No, I don't have a degree. What I got are certs, technologies, achievements, projects. How do you stay up to this date with all the stacks, you know? I just continue learning, building, getting better. Gonna watch E3? Probably not. I usually just watch the like highlight videos of E3. I'm hoping they show something for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Tito. Yeah, so the only thing I really watch is anime. So I watch a lot of anime, and not a lot. I basically just 2 animes. I used to watch a lot more, but there's really not that much great stuff. Did I see Apple's latest conference? The monitor stand for $1,000. Yes, I did. I've always thought anyone who bought Apple products are morons anyhow. So good for them. Charge whatever they want for that. They have a $4,000 monitor and $1,000 if you want it on a stand. I love it. I love it. Just keep doing you, man. It's all crazy. Apple's just a scam, man. Do you ever get stuck on problems and have to ask for help? Yeah. Is it acceptable at work to research what you're doing? It is for me. I wish someone would tell me not to. See what happens. And this is what I tell you: if you're at a workplace where they don't want you to get better, you need to get out of there. Pretty much every morning I'd sit down and I would study. I study for about 30 minutes. Vegeta's definitely cooler than Goku. Off the top of your head, what's a decent junior dev salary role in South Florida? I started at 62. I would say though you could start. Most people I know start somewhere between 45 and 55. Are you still going to do that 4K monitor giveaway? Yeah, man. I said when we hit 100,000 subs, I'll give some away. I'm looking forward to any upcoming hackathons. They don't do too many out this way, man. You guys hear anything? Throw them my way. I looked up a little while ago. See what's going on. Wait, so 70K is actually good for your very first junior level role? I think it's a very fine salary. So here's what you have to understand. Your junior level role, you start at 70K. If you're good, you'll be at 100 in a year. Maybe 2. If I won the lotto for 500 million, would I retire? I definitely wouldn't be working for anybody else. I'd probably just figure out cool ways to invest my money, make it into more, and then I'd, you definitely go spend some stupid money, travel, do some shit, and then I'd probably just work on my own stuff. Yeah, Drew Mac, you got the right idea. How many side projects did I have? I had like 6 or 7 on my resume. Yeah, no, Never go full Jim McAfee. Rule number one of, of owning your money. Do I ever save code templates? No. Here's the thing, guys. Everything you build is going to be custom. Do you study in Starbucks? Nah, because I'm not basic, yo. Why would I study in Starbucks when I have a standing desk here, 3 4K monitors, and like a powerhouse of a computer? I used to have 4, but that StarCraft shirt t-shirt found co-found. I know I wear this one a lot, don't I? The people who study at Starbucks alone are just people who want to be seen studying. They don't really care about getting better. No, they're in a group. It's a group activity. I used to meet up with not Starbucks, but other places with Matt to go study. We tried to get like a free code camp meetup going. No one ever show up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And also, it's like you have the same morons that buy apples that go go to Starbucks. Also, it's like, hey, let me go get an overpriced coffee with my overpriced laptop, just because it makes me feel special. Because I'm not, but because these people tell me I am if I buy this stuff. That's literally what I think of people who have Macs at Starbucks. That might have been too real. I mean, I probably shouldn't have said that. Uh, no, I don't wear any computer glasses. I just had my eyes refactored. And by that, I mean I got laser eye surgery. Is there such a thing called dirty code in your courses? There's definitely such a thing as called dirty code, but you ain't going to find it in my courses. I prefer CSS Grid. It drives me insane that people still use Bootstrap. That's how I know someone hasn't learned. By the way, you want to know one of the easy ways to find out that someone hasn't learned shit in CSS or in the front end is when they still use Bootstrap. When you still use Bootstrap, what it tells me is that in the last 4 years since CSS Grid and Flexbox has come out, you haven't learned shit. You haven't taken the time to learn absolutely anything when it comes to responsive design. Definitely aren't going to do mobile first. You don't understand CSS variables. You don't understand probably animations. You haven't taken the time to do anything in CSS when you still use Bootstrap. That's what I understand when I see that. You know how I know? Because Flexbox, CSS Grid are fantastically easy to work with. I'm not talking about like carousels, cards. I'm talking about like people use CSS Grid most of the time for the responsive grid. You can use the other things. You can use, hey, you want to use a carousel, whatever. Most things you can make on your own, relatively easy. Don't employers like using Bootstrap because they build websites faster? Only because people can't learn CSS Grid or Flexbox. All you have to do is spend a weekend or an afternoon learning these technologies. It's not that hard. Takes too long to write CSS. No, it doesn't. You're just bad. And that's the truth. If it takes too long to write CSS, you're bad. All right? That's all it is. Get good. How many hours a week you spend studying code? I usually spend about 1 hour a day after work on coding related side projects, and then I spend, it depends on the weekend, anywhere from 4 to 12 hours on the weekends nowadays. So avoid Bootstrap. uh, Look, man, if I ask you how you handle responsive design and you say Bootstrap, you're gonna have to go kill it in some other part of the interview. Yeah. You know my issue with this is, this is my issue is, you know how many people I've interviewed that use Bootstrap, and you say, cool, what's a media query? And they say, no, I don't know. Why might you use one? What are some other ways of handling responsive design? No CSS grid, no Flexbox. I just am sick of shitty devs. That's the truth of the matter. Here's the thing. I'll clear 150 this year, guys. Let's just talk money. You want to talk some real talk? I'll clear 150 this year. A lot of money. A lot of money to me, anyhow. Most money I ever made. I'll make more money next year. A lot of money to me. I'm still putting in more time than the average person. Okay? I said I downgraded my time. I said 1 hour a day during work. That's five hours a day during the weekdays. About 4 to 12 hours on the weekends. Sometimes more, but around there. So let's just say I put in consistently 12. Let's say 12 hours a week. I'm still putting in way more time than the average person. And I bet that's probably closer to 15, to be honest with you, because I work Saturday and Sunday on stuff. Should I? I don't know. Do I? Yeah, because I enjoy it. And I enjoy getting better. People show up, can't write media queries. They don't understand pass by value, pass by reference. They don't understand a loosely equals or strictly equals in JavaScript. They don't understand object-oriented programming, mobile-first design. They don't understand anything anymore. Bootstrap uses media queries, but that's my point. You use Bootstrap, you don't even understand. You don't even understand what a media query is. You just know that if I put a row here, I do a call 8 here, call 4 here, that this will take up 8 grids, this will take up 4 cells, and then cool, great. We don't use Bootstrap. Do you understand how to do responsive design? So don't use HTML, CSS framework as a crutch. I have no problem with frameworks. Here's the problem, is that people then go and use them for decades. Like, go use Bootstrap, go use Materialize, go use any of those things. Angular Material, whatever. But there's a point to them, and the native things that exist, you don't need to use it for that. So eventually move away from these frameworks, learn some of these native things, because you don't always have to use another tool. And you probably shouldn't, because your next workplace may not have Bootstrap, but you know what they're definitely going to have? Responsive design. You know what they're definitely going to have? CSS. Like, how many people haven't learned CSS here? Let's just be honest, right? A lot of people don't learn CSS. They don't learn it in depth. They don't learn it very well. Part of the reason is since day one, they've been using Bootstrap to style their buttons, style their inputs. Yeah. I just realized we work for the same company in the same city. Do we really? Welcome to the team, Lawrence. But seriously, like, why are you so mad? I'm not mad, man. Here, I'm not mad. I am passionate. Here's the thing. I am passionate that 9 out of 10 developers suck. I am passionate that you can get better very quickly if you even put a little bit of effort. Just a little bit. Just 5 hours a week, guys. 5 hours a week. So, you know what, man? I've been doing this whole Bootstrap column grid thing for, I don't know, 7 years. Maybe it's time for us to learn something new. Maybe I should learn about fundamentals. Maybe I should learn about media queries. Maybe I should learn about mobile first. Maybe I should learn about setting different sizes and setting my wireframes. Look at this. Maybe I should learn how to style a button. Maybe I should learn about pseudo selectors, pseudo elements. Maybe I should do all this stuff so I can build it on my own so that so you don't have to say CSS takes too long. CSS is hard. It's all hard. No one comes out of the womb and said, yo, dog, year 2, I could do vanilla JavaScript like nothing. So it's all hard. But you continue to move forward. What happens is you have people do the same thing for 20 years experience, can't reverse a string because they finished the first year 20 times. So you tell me people can't even style a button. So maybe, some people can't, but most of the time, you'd be surprised how few people could do basic CSS stuff. And this is the thing. This hurts you. I got a job. I'll keep getting jobs. This hurts you guys more than anything else. This is what upsets me. Why do you think companies don't hire junior devs? Because the senior devs they hire already suck. So why are they going to hire a junior dev that has no experience? And they're like, that guy's got 5 years experience. You have 0. This guy sucks. We don't even know how bad you're going to be. You know how you be a dev that doesn't suck? You want to know how you can get to God tier? This is it. People joke all the time. You know how you get good? 5 hours a week after 3 months of your first job. First 3 months, put in like 20, 30 hours. After that, 5 hours a week for your entire career. 5 hours. If you want to be a baller, go up to 7 to hour every day. I'm giving you 2 days off. 5 hours a week, every week for the rest of your career. Ever met a senior dev couldn't reverse a string? Yes. Many a dev cannot do fizzbuzz. Many a dev can't reverse a string. Did you roast him? Of course not. I'm a professional. You try and help these poor people out through them so they learn something. Do you think I'm here because I want to put somebody down? I want to tell you, I'm trying to tell you guys to get good because you can go get a job. So, many a dev, decades of experience. I've interviewed devs that have worked at LinkedIn, contracted with Google, can't reverse a string, can't do fizzbuzz. Help them through it. I've had devs with 5 years experience tell me they don't write for loops. What? What do you mean you don't write for loops? Yeah. Loops are bad practice. How did they get even higher? Because people are desperate, man. Can't use the map function instead of for loops. You can use map to create a new array based off of values if that's what you want to do. Loops are a bad practice. I'm not, or hey, I'm not even. Yeah. And then you have developers who use Lodash. Oh my goodness. You know who uses Lodash? People who don't understand how to write code anymore. Same thing with jQuery. People don't understand how to use things and learn new things. So there are Lodash and jQuery experts around the world. Yeah. I don't know how to do anything anymore, so I just use Lodash. Because it's so hard to empty an array, I have to install Lodash to do that. Lawrence Wilson, how much experience is needed before applying for a developer position? I'm interested in applying where we work, but no one has any advice about the interview process nor the daily tasks. Hey, Lawrence, add me on LinkedIn and we can talk, man. Because my team's hiring, man. You got the chops. I'll get you in there. LinkedIn, Dylan Israel, Dylan 310, I think is my add-on. Add me on there, Lawrence. We'll talk. And I'll give you some in-depth answer, man. Yeah. So I don't know if we're hiring international. Probably not. We want people to be local. We're trying to build a team here, like the Avengers. If you can build a CRUD app, you're probably gonna go get an internship. Do you mind when people from your YouTube channel send you LinkedIn requests? No, I get them all the time. I just approve everything. Yeah. So VanQ, here's the thing. Do I really have any issue with Lodash? Do I really have any issue with Bootstrap? No. What I have issues with is that people use them for decades and they learn that. They don't actually learn how to code. And so you have to take this extreme black and white stance because is there anything wrong with using frameworks, libraries? No. But what the issue is that 99.9% of developers abuse it. What's the mini bed in your lap? It's what your mama sleeps in. No, it's it's I got it at IKEA for my cat, thinking they'd sleep in it. I don't like it though. So you guys are giving me too hypey, man. We're talking about software. Yeah. I apologize, Laura. No, it's for my cats. We're actually going to take it back and get my $5 back because IKEA has a wonderful return policy. What's Scrum? Scrum is an agile methodology for how you run your development process. Are you actually saying that Lodash is a higher level abstraction? Is that what you are actually saying? Where did I learn my stuff nowadays? In the streets. All right. YouTube, Udemy, articles, LinkedIn. It depends. I really just look what I want to learn. So whatever it is I want to work on, I learn, I build, and I go from there. Do you still use window.on a load equals init? No. No, I do not. What's the scrub with the guy that thinks that's that flippin' song? I'm trying to think. Guy that thinks he's fine, but hanging on his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. We're bringing it back, boys and girls. Also known as a busta. Oh man. You need Dolan? So I just reached out to Ricky about doing a Dolan sketch. I finally got one that I like, and it's gonna be fire. It's not going to be for a few months. Ricky's starting a new job, so. Make a video giving students advice in the second or third year. Yeah, let me write that down, man. Where's Dylan? The IRS been chasing him around, man. He hasn't been paying his taxes. Did I used to watch Bucky Roberts back in the day? I mainly like when I started watching YouTube, I mainly started watching Traversy Media and God, I forget Derek Bananas. Derek Banas. There we go. How's the book? Slow. The podcast is going really well though. Yeah. The podcast isn't up yet, but it's called Self-Taught or Not. It's a great so like obviously I'm self-taught, and then Eric has a bachelor's in computer science and master's in business. And so we partnered up, and we're both YouTubers, and we talk about 24, or we're going to talk about 24. We filmed about 8 or 9, and we're talking about 24 different topics and sort of our opinions about them, advice. So am I still doing the university? No. Pat Salvatore, sort of depends, but for the most part, I tell you to be proficient in full stack, and you'll qualify for more stuff. What happened there? Well, I did 3 classes in about 3 months, and I just did it sort of part time, and it sucked, and it was outdated, and I was paying good money for it, and so I didn't continue. Last math class I took, so when I was in university, not this last time when I went back, I did let's see. I started with a pre-algebra. So I wanted a warm-up course because it's been a while since I took math. So I took pre-algebra. What a waste of time that was. You have to not have a pulse to fail pre-algebra and in college. So I did pre-algebra. I then did college algebra. I did geometry, statistics, calc 1, 2, and 3, and then linear algebra on top of that. Trying to think if there's anything else. And you're saying, Dylan, was any of that helpful? College algebra. Nothing else. The total cheddar makeover. I've been thinking, I don't know if this is against Udemy policy, but I've been thinking about making the most unimpressive course on Udemy and actually calling it that and say, hell yeah, thank you for your money. There ain't no course here. And just repeat that again and again and again. And just doing Dolan sketches. You thought that you're going to learn something useful, get better? Nah. Wish you got your cheddar straight to the bank. All right, guys. We actually went a little longer than we normally do with the hour. Lawrence Wilson, add me on LinkedIn, man, and I will I'll answer your questions, man, and I'll do my best to help you out. Yeah, I'll we recycle in this house, guys. Don't worry. Tito. With that being said, guys, if you're interested in any of my courses, there's links in the description. The books I recommend so you can actually get good. Clean Code, The Clean Coder. There's links in the description to help out with that as well. And we'll, of course, recycle all water bottles in this house. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.